Test. The dog? Sure. Is this yours? Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom and welcome all who are here with us in person and all joining via our live stream. The live stream has been an interesting experience over the last several years. We have fine-tuned it, and on Kol Nidre we hit a new high. We had 816 views. I mean, you don't really see how long they watched it, right? You see a aggregate of, whatever, but yeah, well, it didn't happen the next day, so I don't know. But yeah, no, interesting, right? Yeah, fascinating. Somebody said, so I was talking to somebody, said, well, maybe one of the big congregations that's also called Anshe Chesed sent out the wrong YouTube link, and so, like, Anshe Chesed in Cleveland, they could have, maybe Fairmount Temple. Yes, exactly. We went viral, who knows? So, Shabbat Shalom on this interesting Shabbat. The Shabbat that is often never happens, actually, because it is rare to have a Shabbat within the 4 days between Yom Kippur and the beginning of Sukkot. And so we often will have the Shabbat that follows Yom Kippur is also the Shabbat that happens in the middle of Sukkot. Right? But this year we have that extra Shabbat, and so this is Shabbat Ha'azinu. We'll talk a little bit about the Torah portion in a few moments. But for now, let's begin as we light our Shabbat candles and welcome Shabbat on page 2. Julie?
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. We turn together to page 10.
Sure.
Maya Fehayom, how beautiful this day is, how beautiful Shabbat can be. Shabbat is this moment or island in time to set aside the complexities of life, to take the deep breath, to enjoy and to experience the peace that is this special moment of Shabbat.
If there was ever a night to sing along loudly, this would be the one. Please.
And so on page 20, we join in the Chad Dodi as we welcome our Shabbat bride into our hearts. Likrat Kala.
Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor ha'baracha, rosh mikerem mesucha, sof ma'aseh v'machshava tefila. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nai Shabbat, Mekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nai Shabbat, Mekabela. Boim v'shalom ateret ba'ala, Ram v'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi kala, lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nai Shabbat, mekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nai Shabbat, mekabela.
Please be seated as we continue. Shalom Aleichem on page 24. Those words of welcome, words of a hope, a blessing for peace for each other.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's so nice with everyone singing so loud. I should get vocal tiredness more often.
We have a choir.
We do have choir, it's great.
And on page 28, we rise for Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated as we continue page 30 with Ma'ariv Aravim, thanking God for the mysteries and the wonders of creation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, b'chokhma poteach sha'arim, ובתבונה משנה עיתים ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. And on page 32, wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Ahavat olam med Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, ufkumeinu nasiach bechukecha, v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla, ve'ahavatcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
We're going to sing it.
Great, okay.
I know you're excited. Sabrina's having bat mitzvah in a week. We're very excited. We're very excited. And so we rise together and we turn to page 34, and we'll join with Sabrina in singing Shema and V'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. On the following page, we join in V'ahavta. Ready? V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha
V'shinantam levanecha, v'dibartam bam,
v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'vlechtecha v'derech u'shokbecha u'vkumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotofot bein einecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. Yasher koach, nicely done. Page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory, may earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha netar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef On page 43, let's join together in Hashkivenu. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai haborei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haborei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu el kol amo Yisrael. Page 45. We are, in fact, a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. And we thank God for the opportunity and the blessings we have to celebrate Shabbat together. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובן בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת.
לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Why do you guys always sing like this?
We are in good,
I
we
can
are
hear
in
you,
good
it's
voice.
great. I love being able to hear it.
Page 47. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We rise together for Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agit tehilatecha. Adonai, open our lips, that our mouths may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav v'Hoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkel Chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, kadoshim b'chol yom yahalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see, wherever we gaze, that the bush burns unconsumed. And we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Let's join together in the middle of page 57. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha lecha na'eh lehodot. And we join together on page 61 in our blessing for peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among the inhabitants of every land, and plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael, bashalom.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki ata Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael mechol heit uv'chol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
We take a few moments in silent prayer. We depart from the texts of our prayer book and we look inward to our hearts and the prayers in our minds and our hearts.
Yehu ratzon imrefi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri v'gali v'gali.
We turn together to page 253, and we think of all those in our families, our friends, our community, our state, our country, our world, who are in need of blessings of healing. All those whose lives have been so disrupted through conflict and disaster, natural disaster and those created by disagreements between people. We think too of those who continue to battle COVID-19 and its effects on their lives and their families, and our beloved caregivers who work tirelessly for our health. In our congregation, we especially mention Pat Hanna, Doug Ford, Steve Tuttlebin, Merv Weinman, Diane Levy, Joan Rosenthal, Corinne McCarthy, John Gayampa, Scott Gordon, Sarah Parton, Connie Mattis, Frank Fusaro, Renee Goldman, Phil DeFrancesco, Jake Kaler, Diane Kaler, Debbie Perry, Amy Doherty, Dick Metcalf, Wanda Ahart, Sharon Johns, Shelley Schloss, Yael Moray, Julie Matthews, Dane Marcinowski, Maggie Lee, Noya Grinberg, Robert Wozniak, Cheryl Marcinowski, Pam Waters, Lloyd Rhodes, Corlin Moray, and Mark Mattis. If you are joining us by a live stream, please, if you'd like to add a name, add the name into our chat. If you are here in person, please share a name if you wish.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. I want us to take a look at a little piece of Torah this evening. We are going to, I'm sharing the screen with you there. I'll pass these out. So let me set the scene while Pam is passing around the sheets. Ha'azinu, Moses' very, very final words. It is the farewell poem, if you will, for Moses. There are scholars, and we have many questions with the authenticity or where the Torah text comes from and all of that. And one of the questions I get regularly is, well, is the Torah authentic? Or is it real? Those kinds of things. And that's really not the right question. Yes? Because what does real mean or what does authentic mean, I don't know. But does it have something to teach me? Right? Did these events happen? I can't tell you that. Do the stories and the text have much to teach me in terms of guidance and how I live my life? For sure. Absolutely. So as one of my professors of Bible in rabbinic school said when we were sort of talking about this, he said, it doesn't matter because this is the text that we have. This is the text, the Torah, that has guided our people for thousands of years. So you can spend your time figuring out if it was written here or written there or whatever, but it ultimately doesn't matter because this is the text. And what's remarkable about this particular text is it belies all logic in the sense of its continuity. So, if you were to show me the oldest Torah in existence, which is about 1,000-something years old, the oldest one that we've found, right? You know what's unique about it? Absolutely nothing. It's like any other Torah we have in the Ark. Right? There hasn't been a Torah that's found that was, with the sixth book, or with a missing chapter, or a story that wasn't there, or any of those kinds of differences. Right? Now you would expect that in this kind of ancient tradition, right? Because ancient traditions flex and flow, and stories are told and retold, and oral traditions are passed down, etc. But it hangs together as a complete whole in every instance that we found one. New ones, old ones, and that's why, if you think of the Dead Sea Scrolls, which are some of the oldest physical texts that we have, and they found one of them is the book of Isaiah. It's called the Isaiah Scroll. It's remarkable. It's ancient. It dates back to the time of the Zealots. But you know what's really remarkable about it? It's exactly like the Isaiah text that we have. Right? So, the scholars were all thinking, they were going to have all this new information and everything. And it didn't materialize because the texts are the same texts that we have, which in and of itself is fantastic. So, in this particular text, this can be seen actually as a sort of closing moment to Moses' career. If you will, the opening moment is when Moses leads the people across the sea, right? They leave Egypt, the Egyptians are chasing them, they're standing at the shore of the sea, they have nowhere to go, the Egyptians are coming after them, and all of a sudden the sea splits, they cross on dry land, they get over to the other side, and they celebrate. That text in the Torah is written in interlaced lines. So you have one line like this, and another line underneath it like this, and then another line like this, sort of looking like bricks. And there are many conversations and midrashim and stories around why the text is laid out that way. Some say it's to symbolize the bricks of slavery, the bricks that the Jews used to build the cities of the Egyptians. And then you have Ha'azinu. And Ha'azinu in the Torah looks like two independent columns. Two columns. And the scholars, kind of question, well, why those? And sometimes the answers come to, well, if you think about it as in contrast to Shirat Hayam, or Song of the Sea, which is like these bricks, these are independent columns. So we've now gone from slaves who build cities with bricks to independent, standalone, freestanding people. So midrashically, that's how they kind of play with it. But I wanted to take a look at the text a little bit because it's biblical poetry. And biblical poetry works in sort of, it's got a meter to it for sure in the Hebrew, but it's also, it has rhyming or doubled lines, okay? So the first line, Ha'azinu hashamayim va'adabera. Give ear. So the Hebrew word for ear is ozen, right? You have one ozen, you have two oznaim, right? Ha'azinu hashamayim va'adabera. Give ear, O heavens. Let me speak. How many of you have ever seen a magician? Magician? Ever seen a magician? Pulling a rabbit out of a hat, right? What does the magician say right before they pull a rabbit out of the hat? Say it louder. Abracadabra. Anybody know where that comes from? It's Hebrew, yes. It's Hebrew. It's Hebrew from, so the text in the very beginning of the Torah is Bereshit bara Elohim, and God created the heavens and the earth, right? And then in this is, daber means to speak, right? So abracadabra is really abara, which is I create, which is the construct form, the verb of create in future, so which is basically it's not quite future tense, but it's imperfected future tense. So it's things that will likely happen, kind of thing. Okay, so it's I will create, ke, which is the prefix that says like or as, dibra, I speak. Right? Abracadabra. So here, Ha'azinu hashamayim ba'adabera, listen up, listen, O heavens, give ear, O heavens, let me speak. And then the companion line, which is always kind of a restating of the same sentiment, let the earth hear the words I utter. Right? Think about the text of creation, right? God creates what? The heavens and the earth. Right? So in this is essentially calling all of creation to listen. So Moses is saying, okay, all of creation, listen up. I have something important to say. May my discourse come down as the rain, my speech distill as the dew. Okay, these words are not accidental. Rain happens when? Think ancient Israel. Rain happens when? In winter. And when does the dew happen? Only in summer and spring, right? So there are two seasons, right? There's winter and summer in the ancient, in the kind of ancient sort of thought. There's really winter and summer. In the winter you get rain, in the summer you get dew. Because in the summer, in desert climates, you don't get rain. There's no such experience. So I don't know if anybody noticed, in the middle of the Amidah, Jesse sort of leaned over and said, which insert do we do? Do we do the winter one or the summer one? And does anybody know exactly when we switch over? Whoa. Shemini Atzeret. So the very end of Sukkot,
end of Sukkot ends essentially summer for us. I mean, here in Erie, it ends a little earlier, I think. But nevertheless, that ends summer for us at the end of Sukkot, and then we'll begin to thank God for the rain. Why wouldn't we just why can't we just pray for rain the whole year? Why do we have to switch around? Correct. Because you can't pray for something that's just not possible. Right? So I can pray that I may be successful at something. I can pray that I might have the ability to learn something. But I can't pray to flap my arms and fly, because that's never going to happen. So when the text says, rain and dew, what is it really saying? All year, right. Saying it's all year. Like showers on young growth, like droplets on the grass. And then it continues. For the name of Adonai I proclaim, give glory to our God. And then the text goes on, and this is Moses' really this is the swan song. And and then it goes on about some praises, and then it recaps. But it's brilliant in its kind of like back and forth. So the text is both sort of restating it, with more similar words, but also changing and saying it's more than just restating it, it's encompassing everything. So, questions?
Unworthy children? What's that about?
Well, what do you think unworthy, when Moses is addressing to the children of Israel, who are the unworthy children?
Saying unto them. So, but is he passing judgment, or is he just stating a fact?
Well, I think it's saying that, look, that we have proven over the last 40 years in the desert to be difficult, right? Unworthy children. That crooked, perverse generation. What's the crooked and perverse generation?
That would be the one that did the golden calf.
Right? Good. Golden calf. Right? Their baseness has played God false. Right? False gods, right? They built the calf. Right? That's what they did. So, okay. So just an interesting kind of look through this very final address of Moses. And then next week, we'll get to Vezot HaBracha, which is essentially the postscript, which is Moses' death. And then we'll do Sukkot, by the way, begins on Sunday night. And we are decorating our sukkah on Sunday morning if you're a part of Gesher. So please, even if you're not part of Gesher, you come decorate our sukkah. You had a question?
Yeah, when it says second, is that the second column in the Torah?
Where do you see that?
On the other side.
Oh, no, that's the second aliyah.
Thank you.
Yeah. They're quite short aliyot, actually. Yeah, the second is the second aliyah. Yep. Okay. So we begin, we have decorating our sukkah on Sunday, and then following week, we have Simchat Torah. And then the following week, we are blessed, we have Cantor Will, who is going to be with us. You'll get more information about that, but it's a busy month. Very good. So let's turn together to Aleinu, page 282. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים עמו, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום, והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים עמו, והארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated as we turn our hearts and thoughts to those who have departed this world. Those who our own loved ones and those who our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of life and death, of loss, and those who have come before us and on whose shoulders we stand. And it is profound during these days, these holiday days of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and Sukkot to follow. It's no accident that our tradition says, cherish those memories. Take those memories out. Take those memories out and give them some air and relish them and honor them. And so we do Yizkor on Yom Kippur, thank you, and also on Sukkot as we end Sukkot. So, in our congregation, we are in the period of Shloshim. For Bob Prevashevsky Sr., the father of Bob and Darlene Prevashevsky, for Marianne Krowinski Porter, sister of Bill and Rochelle Krowinski, and for Ruth Wadley, life partner of Richard Lipchick. We also observe Yahrzeit on this Shabbat for Rosa Klein, Louis J. DeRoy, Meyer Davidow, Joseph Stern, Moses Levy, Adolf Platowski, Samuel Golden, Celia Schwartz, Florence Goldstein, Isidore Simon, Martha D. Platt, Bert Cohen, Franklin Fox, William Schwartz, Isaac Rosenzweig, Max Fetterman, Rose Schoenberg, and Minnie Schuster-Waxelbaum. If you are joining us via live stream, please, if you have a name to add, please add into our chat. If you are here in person and would like to add a name, please do so. And so we rise together as we turn to page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chai echon uv'yom echon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmeh almaya, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה. דמירן ביעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה. וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. Please be seated.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Talk about standing on people's shoulders. It's Franklin Fox's yard site, and I think that Walter and my dad and I might be the only ones here who remember Franklin Fox. But he taught in a religious school for years and years and years, so many of the people who were raised at Temple on Chehaska, that they know about Judaism, a lot of it came from Franklin Fox. And I was in a class of 13 with 3 or 4 boys who could be incredibly unruly. And he was one of the few teachers, when he came in and sat down at that desk, all of us were quiet and paid attention. He had a way of making us know that it was important to listen. And he was a wonderful teacher.
But what really reminds me of is that several years ago, what we did at this time in the services, anyone that had something special to say about someone there got up and mentioned it. That was a nice portion of it, and we may want to go back
Sure.
to that tradition a little bit.
Yeah, we just have to figure out how to do it with everybody on, half the people here and half the people on live stream, and we'll figure it out. But
Like Lyman and I, we would probably be able to stand up every single week and talk about a story about somebody.
you know, those are the precious memories, and in fact, that's the real reason of Yahrzeit, right? The reason that we read the names is to bring those memories forward. You know, it's easy to kind of not have those memories in our present and in our consciousness on a regular basis. And so when we hear those names from childhood, or the names that we shared the path of life with, you know, those are moments to really bring all of those wonderful, wonderful memories forward. Thank you.
Because last week I got up to talk about Mrs. Sherman. Yeah, similar story.
Yeah. So this, tomorrow morning, we have the last of our Zoom Torah studies. We will resume Shabbat morning services at 10 a.m. Next week.
Very excited.
Actually, Sabrina's working incredibly hard and has done a fabulous job preparing, so I'm excited. She's been great. So tomorrow we have the last of our Zoom Torah studies at 9:30, and then on Sunday we have our decorating the sukkah, and also our one of our more popular programs called Pizza in the Hut. So a nice opportunity to begin Sukkot and to share a meal together. So we'll have lunch in the sukkah following Gesher at 12:30, and you're all welcome to come and join us. Okay, October 14th after services, we are trying a new program, a new opportunity to extend Shabbat a little bit and to come together and have some conversation. So when we began Talk Amongst Ourselves, which was a Tuesday program, in the depths of the pandemic, this was an opportunity to bring people together via Zoom. Now that we can be in person, the idea remains to bring people together, but we want to be able to do that in a communal way, and so we are inviting you all to join us after services on that Friday night to bring your own Shabbat dinner and share a table together.
so that we can engage in some conversation and talk and whatever. You can bring whatever you like. You can bring a pizza, you can bring subs, you can bring sandwiches, you can bring something you make from home, whatever you want. We'll have the warmers set up so that you can put your food in the warmer if it's something that you want to keep warm. And we'll have a great opportunity to share some ideas and share some thoughts. And will be a lovely chance to be together. Okay, and then again, what are we doing on Saturday? Oh, right. We're having a bat mitzvah. So we're gonna celebrate Sabrina's bat mitzvah, and then on the 16th we'll join together for Simchat Torah, which we haven't been able to do again in several years. So we'll have a chance to unroll the whole Torah and see the entire scroll unrolled. Which is, if you haven't seen that or seen that, regularly, it's really an amazing experience to see the whole Torah landscape. And there are many interesting parts of it and whatever. So if you haven't ever come, or you've never, well, you didn't come last year because none of you did, you should come anyway. So that's at 12 o'clock on Sunday. We'll join with our Gesher students for that. Okay. Did I miss anything? Okay, great. All right, we're going to close with Hevenu Shalom Aleichem. Bring peace for all of us. Shalom Aleichem. Ooh, ah.
The timing on that was good, though. We good?
Yeah.
All right, let's try that again.
Shalom Aleichem. Aleichem Hevenu Shalom. Let's join together in Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thanks for the save on that.